Hi guys, my name is Adele. I love reading romance, fantasy romance, paranormal romance, historical romance, any kind of romance. So if that's your thing, please subscribe to my channel. My channel is Adele Loves Books. For today's video, it's going to be my recent reads for this week. But before I start on the recommendations, I'd like to thank the 14 people that subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. And if you like my content, I would appreciate if you tell them about my channel. So anyway, let's get to the recommendations. As I said, I mostly read fantasy this week, and two romantic suspense books. The first book I'm gonna talk about is because I got an arc for it, and I forgot to mention it last week. But it's Inferno by Amara. It's the third book in her Immortal Coven series. If you've seen my previous videos, then you would know that I've talked about her previous book, Lifeblood and Hydras. Inferno is book 3. Inferno is about Willow. Willow is going to find the berserkers, so they can form an alliance against the enemies of the Coven. The berserkers live underground, so Willow has to go underground to meet with the berserker leader. The only problem is, to meet with the berserker leader, Willow has to have 3 trials, which basically means 3 battles with 3 different berserkers. And then she can have an audience with the leader, and she has to win. During the second battle, Willow catches the berserker leader's attention. The berserker leader his name is Torek, and he basically tells Willow that you're still going to do the challenges, you're just going to do them in my bed. So, because Torek was attracted to Willow's power. And eventually they found out that they're mates. And I really like this book. It's a virgin hero. Cause Torek's the virgin in this, not Willow. And that was a fun thing to see, cause it's usually the reverse. The girl is the virgin and the guy is not, so it's reverse. So I like that. The only reason I give this book 4 stars was because I wish the last battle scene was too short. I wish it was a little bit longer, but overall, I like this book. I implore you guys to read it. Inferno by Amara. But my favorite book in the series is still book number 2, Hydrus. There's something about Faye. The second book I'm gonna mention, well, it's a series actually. It's a fantasy romance series by Juliette Cruz. It's the Stay a Spell series. Book one in the series is called Wolf Gone Wild. And the main characters are Evie, Savoie, and Mateo Cruz. And Mateo is a shifter who goes to Evie because her power is a hex breaker. And there has been a hex on Mateo which caused him to not be able to shift for 3 months. And for a wolf, that is bad because if you're a shifter, you have to be able to shift. So he goes to Evie for some help, but witches and wolves are not allowed to intermingle with each other because there's a stigma against the wolves. But Evie can see that Mateo is really struggling, so she says yes, and they spent all this time together. They spent all this time together trying to figure out a way to break the hex, and so they eventually fall in love because of all the time they spent together trying to help Mateo out. It's a really funny book. Don't let the cover fool you, because the Stay a Spell series has some really good steam in it. The cover is just like, it just doesn't look like it, but because of the way the cover looks, but it's steamy. The third book I'm going to mention is Don't Hex and Drive. It's about Evie's sister, Isadora. Isadora is the shy one of the family. She's very reclusive. She just likes plants. Her power is healing magic. And one day, Isadora was riding her bike and she got hit by a car, and the driver was this vampire. I'm not going to say it. Dev, I think his name was Dev. I'm sorry, I can't say his name. But the vampire hits Livvy on his bike, and he tries to apologize, but she's like, that's okay, forget it, just pay for my bike. And Isadora thought she'll never see this vampire again. It turns out that the vampire is Isadora's neighbor. So this is an opposites attract romance. Opposites attract, because Dev is very famous. He's in the Hollywood scene, and Isadora is very reclusive, except for when she's with her sisters. And Dev is pulled into a mission by the vampire leader because people have gone missing. And somehow, because of Isadora's powers, she got pulled into the mystery as well. And it's about Isadora and the vampire's relationship. Isadora and the vampire. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say his name because I can't pronounce his name and I don't want to say it wrong. So, that's book 2. Book 3 in the series is called Witches. I think Witches Get Stitches. It's a friends to lovers romance. And in this book, we follow Violet, Savoie, and Nico, Cruz. Nico is the cousin of Mateo from book 1. And Violet and Nico meet for the first time at a club, and then they share a kiss, but then Violet's power, her name is Violet. Violet's power is telling the future with tarot cards, and she does a tarot card reading to see if Nico is the one. She does that reading, and it tells her, no, he's not the one. So right then and there, Violet decides that her and Nico should just remain friends, but Nico's wolf feels something more. And it goes on like that for a couple of years until another wolf pack shows up and shows interest in Violet. So that's when Nico takes charge and tries to make Violet jealous. So it's their romance. I'm not going to say anything more than that because I don't want to spoil it. And the 4th book in the series is Always Practice Safe Hex. It's about Liv and Gareth. It's an enemies to lovers. It's an office romance. Liv has the powers of persuasion, and Garrett's a grim. And I think they're both telepaths, because they are able to get vision they're able to send visions to one another, so I think they're both telepaths. They're forced to work together because their company partnered them up for a campaign that they have to work together on. And Gareth runs the idea for the campaign, so they have to work together. Liv is very outgoing and very social. Garrett's a grim and he's not very social, but Gareth always thought that him and Livvy, they have great chemistry. That's what he always thought. But Livvy thinks the opposite, because on the day that they met, Livvy accuses Gareth accuses Livvy of using her powers of persuasion to get what she wants on the job. Eventually, through them working together on the campaign, they see different sides of each other and they start to form a relationship. And Livvy sees that there's more to Gareth than meets the eye, so it's their romance. This is my favorite book in the series. Always practice safe hacks. It's my favorite book in the series so far. The last 2 books I read for the week is gonna be a romantic suspense. And they're both by Samantha Young. In the story we have Robyn, Penhaligon, and Adair. Robyn was a cop, but something happens at work and she quits. And one day she decides to go to Scotland to reconnect with her father that left her when she was 14. And so she gets there, she finds out something's going on with the Adair family, that there's some sort of that there's the stalker that's trying to get to the Adair family. And her father's in danger, so she takes over the case and tries to figure out who exactly is behind all this crazy stuff that's going on in Ireland, in the Adair mansion. And she always blames Adair, because if her father hadn't met him, then he wouldn't have signed up to be his bodyguard and just left her. So she always blamed him for that. But you can see there's like this physical attraction between them. So it's about that. Their attraction, Robyn and Lucian's attraction, and Robyn trying to reconnect with her father. and trying to figure out who the stalker is. The last book I read for the week is There With You. It's the second book in the Adair family, by Samantha Young. It's about Robyn's sister and Thane, Lucian's brother. Thane needs a nanny, and Robyn's sister came to Ireland to make things right with her, because in the first book we see that their relationship is strained, and Robyn doesn't know why, so her sister came to make things right with her. And you can see throughout the book that she's hiding something. And then she winds up being Thane's nanny. So it's a nanny romance. And it's an age gap. Both these books are age gap. That's all for that's all for my recommendations. I want to thank the people who subscribe to my channel once again. Please comment down below. What are you reading? What type of books did you read this week? And please like, comment, and subscribe. And please tell people, if you enjoy my video, please tell people about my channel, because I don't see a lot of, I see a lot of booktubers, but I don't see a lot of booktubers like me. So if you enjoy my content, please consider liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and leave a comment down below. Thank you.